All right, in today's video, we're going to talk about GEVO. Shout out to Lavender Purple asking about can I analyze GEVO? So I'll be doing that in this video today. Is it a buy? Should you be holding it for a long time, or is it a sell? We're going to discuss about all that coming up after the intro. What's up, guys? This is JC and welcome to the Wealth Engineering channel. It is imperative that we learn how to manage our money, because once we learn how to manage our money, we can take control of our true wealth, which is our time and our freedom. This is exactly why I created the Wealth Engineering School and this channel. We pay attention to stocks, crypto, to find the best place to grow your portfolio. If this is something that interests you, I want you to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the bell. To my subscribers, thank you for your support. And if you are new here, welcome to the Wealth Engineering community. I have interesting links in the descriptions to help you start on your financial education journey. If you want to learn how to invest or have started investing in the last 3 years, you want to make sure you check out those links. You don't want to miss on this. With that said, you came here for the truth. Let's just dive deep into it. All right, let's start with the chart. So basically what we can see here is since 2012, this stock's been doing nothing but going straight down. There's been a couple of split as well. Actually, you can see it if you put it on the daily chart. You can see a couple of splits here, 1/20, another split here. And every time they're splitting, the price is, they're making the price of each shares go lower because there's actually more shares available in the market. So basically what's been happening lately is, I think since Biden's been very close to winning, we've seen a price uptake. This used to be about 50 cents and now it's trading around $13. So that's a huge rally right there. And you can see around the election time, that's when the jump really started with this stock right here. So is it actually a good buy or not? Well, I'm going to show you something. For the bull, there is definitely a bull run starting with this stock, because if you look at its history since 2012, it's actually the first time that we actually have so many days where the price action was above the moving average 50, so the 50 moving average and the 200 moving average. Also, we have a cross, which is a golden cross, and the price action staying above these two lines. So right there, this tells me that this is a bull run starting and it could last for a very long time. It could last the entire year. It could also last the entire Biden years, for 4 years. So that right there already tells me it's a great buy. So when we look at on the RSI perspective, so the RSI alone is showing you that, hey, there is an uptrend. It's been doing great. If we break this trend, there might be a short-term correction. What I really want to bring an attention to is, let's look at the higher time frame. So first, let's put it on a weekly chart. On a weekly chart, we also have price action above the two lines right there. So that's another great sign for the long term. And we're getting closer to have a cross on the weekly chart. And this is now the 50-week moving average and the 200 weeks moving average that are about to cross. So if this happens, that's going to have a more strong stay, a more valid stay, that we're actually going to have a long-term bull run on this. Actually, if you look at it from its history, we never had a scenario where the price action was even above the 50-week moving average, let alone getting ready to cross and have a golden cross on the weekly chart. So that's very interesting. And when you look at it from this perspective, well, even if you see it overvalue around here, there might be a small correction, but on the long-term aspect of it, it's great news. And here is what really caught my attention just before I recorded this video is I put it on the monthly chart and I saw this and I'm like, okay, we are onto something here. Now you can see it. Every candle here are actually 1 month. This is a monthly chart and you can see the RSI also has been low. Now this is super undervalued price. Whenever we below 30, it's a very undervalued. That means it's also oversold for a very long time. There is not much momentum on the upside. There is not much strength on the upside for months. And now we're about to do something that we haven't done since 2012, which is basically crossing that green line right here. So this is a huge sign that this is a great buy. Should this happen, then we can expect to see a rally all the way to at least the 50 on the RSI, and then another rally up to the overbought scenario. So that right there to me caught my attention, and that's actually something that got my attention to the point where I'm gonna make some moves so that I can buy some of these shares on my portfolio to add it on my portfolio. I should have looked into it earlier. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but I'm happy that I did today because I'm gonna make some move about that. But to dive a little bit deeper into this company, so let's look into the financials. So first, like one thing I like to do once I see the chart is looking good like this, I like to go on the website and see what they're doing. So this is definitely a green play. The entire green sector is definitely something I want to look into for the long term. But there are some good companies, some bad companies, and is this one a great one? So we'll end up seeing. So I did some research briefly about it. If you want, you can spend more time reading the websites, figure out what they do. But from my understanding, they actually convert renewable sources into biofuels. They can use something like corn and then have it in a way so that they can extract it and use that to create biofuels in different ways. They also promote a lot carbon neutral fuel. So that's something that I know that's going to be a huge buzzword in the entire decade. So right there on a marketing perspective, they're pretty well set up. So let's look at their financials. The first thing that I'm looking at is the revenue. Actually, they are making revenue, so that's great, and it's in the millions. That's awesome. And also what I'm looking at is basically that this year compared to last year is the revenue has cut in half. So that's a problem right here. But I think last year has been affected. A lot of companies been affected with the pandemic situation here. So that's another thing. Net income. So when you factor their expenses, their income is actually in the negative because they probably have more expensive than they have revenues. Look at that. Their expenses are in the 50 millions, 37 millions, whereas the revenue is on the 20, 30 range. So that's a lot of, you can see it here. Income is lower versus revenue and expenses. Expenses definitely higher every year. So that's going to be interesting. The other thing I look at is basically their market cap. And their market cap is 2.8 billion. So that's already a lot in terms of market cap. But what I'm actually looking at right now is the last couple years, they had 25 million, 12 million, 16 million, 32 million, and all of a sudden 2.8 billion in market cap. So that is crazy. And this is a super overvalued right here. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe it's because of the bull run, maybe it's because of the buzz, but the market and the entire, I guess the consciousness of the investors are like, okay, Biden is going to facilitate projects like this, therefore we should buy it. And actually, if I was this company, I would actually make an offering so that I could have a little bit more cash and ride the wave with all this extra cash coming in their hand, because they've been all of a sudden they have went from almost 30 millions to almost 3 billion. So that's a lot. But when it comes to their finance sheet already, they're actually in good standing in terms of if we look at their assets and liabilities, you can see that they're doing well there. They have way more assets than they have liabilities. This right here for me is something that I look into. I love to see something like this. I love to see a nice balance sheet right here. In terms of cash flow, since they have a lot of expenses, I don't expect to see positive cash flow on this scenario right here. But that's am I comfortable to actually put a lot in this stock right here? Not really, because despite the positive balance sheet right here, and the market is still overvalued. But the thing is, when you follow the trend, there is going to be a lot of demand for this. What worries me is over time, I want to see what they are going to do about their expenses. Like, are their expenses are going to keep getting higher as their revenue is getting lower? And can they have a scenario where their revenue can be higher than their expenses? That's what I would like to see. But the thing is, by the time you see that, the price might reach already $5 billion based on how excited the investors are. So this could be an effect of the current bubble going on with the market, because the entire market is a bubble. Also, when you had the fact that, hey, Biden has been promoting green energy a lot of people are jumping to it. If this $2.8 billion as a market cap, this is the only thing that would slow me down. So I'm actually interested in this company. I'm gonna buy it because they have a good balance sheet, but I'm not gonna have a lot of position in it because I'm getting into it late. And I doubt their chance of actually raising their market cap into $5 to $10 billion if we are solely looking at the balance sheet. However, if we are looking at the chart is telling a different story. The chart is telling a different story, that we're about to start a bull run and it could last a very long time. And if that's the case, we have the price of $13 right now. That's post market. And if we get double that, then that's like basically almost $5 to $6 billion if the price reached $30. So is it worth all that? We will see. But basically, based on what the chart is saying here, is we're about to see a jump, and it's not going to be something that's going to last just a couple days. It could be lasting at least a year or even the entire terms of Biden. So this is where I stand. I'm going to buy some position. I'm going to make some move and buy. I'm not sure how many stock I'll buy yet, but I'll make some buys. And ideally, what I would want is to buy something where the RSI is about 50. I would like to wait for the RSI to reach 50 and observe what happened there. If we start seeing the RSI getting lower than 50, then I could buy throughout this entire down period, maybe around $10, even $8. That would be great. But based on the pattern I see here, I doubt that we will see this price. Maybe the investors are super excited about this. So that's very, very interesting. And that could also push the prices up. But the trajectory of this parabolic run right here, it's positive on the short and long term. But if I do see a correction and I see a price action around $5, maybe where we retest the 50 moving average, oh man, right here, that would be a lovely point of entry. And then I would buy more stocks. But at least I'll definitely put it on my watch list. I'll buy, let's say, 10 shares just so that I can put it on my eyesight and have it on my portfolio. But I'll definitely wait for a better entry, because at 2-point-something million, it's high. It's a very high evaluation when the balance sheet is not really validating why it should be decided. Because when you compare the revenue versus you compare the market cap, it's I think it's called price to earning ratio. Let's actually see that if we can. Stats, price to earning ratio. Look, we don't have price to earning ratio numbers available, but you can already tell there is it's going to be very overvalued when you see the market cap. When you see the market cap this high and their earnings is not that much, and especially when their expenses are higher than their earnings. So with that said, I'll leave it at that. I'll buy definitely a small portion of shares just so that I can keep my eyes on it. I like what this company is doing, and I like the trend that they are, the industry that they are. I know it's an industry that will do well in the next couple years. I love that the chart is telling a different story. The chart is telling us, hey, this is the time to start loading into this stock because it's about to do a rally. A couple points I see I can do something like this. I can do this right here, and maybe will we be able to reach $100? Possibly, but I think these targets right here are very feasible based on the chart pattern. I think definitely $20. This is very feasible, and if we break this, then we're heading towards $100. So this would be my target. Ideally, I would love to get in $10 or below, a retest on the daily chart, but on the moving here, that's what I would ideally want to buy. But hey, this is my feedback about it. So if you like this video, if you got some value for it, make sure you click the like button. It really helps the algorithm to help to get more people to see these videos. If there are any other stocks you want me to review to get my feedbacks on it, make sure you put it on the comment section. I would love to get to it as well. Sorry it took this long so that I released this video, but hey, at least I better late than never. But with that said, we'll talk on the next video.